ascending and descending channels, and how do we recognize them in the market? So guys, one of the key things that I wanted to go over was ascending and descending channels, because when we look at the Forex market, okay, the market goes either up or down, okay? Now, by going up, we have an uptrend, and by going down, we have a downtrend, okay? Now, how do we know if these trends are starting to become exhausted and likely to not continue going in the same direction? And the key thing is by looking at price action. And this is the way that we do this, is by looking for ascending and descending channels. So for example, on a trend, I draw an example, a trend goes up, okay, we get a pullback, trend goes up, we get a pullback, trend goes up, we get a pullback. And that's how a trend works, okay? It goes up, pulls back, and it continues in this manner. And that's showing us that we are in an uptrend, okay? Now, a downtrend is the same. It comes down, we get a pullback, drops down, we get a pullback, drops down, pullback, drops down. And you can see that we break these most recent lows pretty impulsively, okay? That's telling us that we're on a downtrend. Now, how do we recognize whether markets are slowing down and momentum is not continuing? Well, what I do and what we look for in the Guerrilla trading community is that once we get a nice impulse, okay, we get a pullback, we look at how we break this most recent high here. Because if we are looking for a trend, we expect it to impulsively break, okay? But if price comes up and then retraces, comes up and retraces, so we're breaking these highs and we're retracing, breaking the high and retracing. This is showing us that we've started with an impulse, we've got a continuation pattern, but as soon as we broke this most recent high, we've pulled back, giving us an ascending channel. Now, the reason why we have to look out for this in the market is when we get an ascending channel or a descending channel, we're likely to do the opposite to the direction we're going in. So for example, if we are going up, we expect a continuation. We expect it to continue going up with the trend. But as price comes up and starts breaking the high and retracing, breaking the high and retracing, breaking the high and retracing, with all the knowledge and experience that I have in the market, I know that majority of time when we have an ascending channel, price is likely to drop down, okay? So this is where we start managing our trades behind the most recent low, but we don't look to get into any trades when the market is ascending or descending, because this is a corrective nature period in the market, okay? So I'll show you an example also on a downtrend. It's the same. So as we are coming down, price is coming down, we get a pullback. We expect price to break this most recent low here impulsively for a trend, but it doesn't do that. It comes down and retraces, comes down and retraces, comes down and retraces, comes down and retraces. And this is just showing us that momentum is slowing down, okay? They're breaking these lows, but they're pulling back, breaking these lows, pulling back. So it's showing us that buyers are coming into the market and that are fighting against the sellers, and they want the market to go up, okay? And this is a key factor in price action we have to look out for, okay? Because this will really help us stay out of the market when the market is not impulsive, okay? So what I want to do now is I want to quickly run through the charts and show you what I'm looking at and replay the bars and how I'm looking live at how we can see that. Okay, so as you can see here, guys, that we've had this impulse break of the most recent low here, because this is the most recent high, that's the most recent low. We've had this impulse break, okay? Let me zoom in a bit for you guys. And you can see then that as price has then taken out this low here, taken out that most recent low, we go back up, find the most recent high and low within that trend, okay? Because the trend is now down. Okay, so then what we look for is we look at price action and we say, okay, this is looking quite impulsive, Okay, now are we going to get continuation of the impulse, or is price going to become corrective? Okay, so I'm going to show you live how I'm looking at it and explain what I'm looking at. Okay, next candle is carried on, so we're looking pretty impulsive. Okay, next candle as well has come down and looks pretty good. So what we're looking for now is we're looking to see whether we can get a nice counter trend move. Okay, and once we get a counter trend move, we want to see if price action gives us our setup or whether it continues to break the lows. And if it continues to break the lows, how are we breaking the lows? Okay, next candle is counter trend. Okay, now we want to see whether we'll get our setup, or as you can see on the very next candle, what has happened is price has gone up, come back down, and become a little bit exhausted, because as soon as we've taken out that low, it's popped back up. Okay, so now what we want to do is to see what happens on the next candle. Is it going to continue down impulsively, or will we get a retracement? Okay, because if we get a retracement, then what that is showing me is that price action is descending and more likely to go up than it is down. Okay, so let's look at the next bar. And as you can see, we've got a retracement. So as we broke this low here, we've got a retrace. Okay, so this would be, excuse me, this would be the new low. This would be the current high. Okay, because as you can see, price has come down, made that high, broke the low. That's the most recent high. Okay, so now what we do and what we focus on, we know that price action here is descending. Okay, so we don't want to get involved in this sort of price action, and this will help us stay out of corrections. Okay, when price is becoming corrective. So let me continue to play this and see what happens next. Okay, as you can see now, we slightly broke this high here. Okay, so we go backwards and find the most recent low, which would have been this candle. And then we see how we break this, because this is just broken. Okay, that would be the most recent high here, but we want to see how price is now breaking this high. Okay, so as you can see, price has broke. We've had a very small candle. Okay, very, very small candle. There's no momentum like these candles here. It's just showing us that price action at the moment is being very corrective. So we play on, and again, breaking that high and retracing. Okay, showing us that price action is becoming corrective. Okay, next one. As you can see, we're getting a bit of a move here, but again, these candles are very small. They're not large like these candles over here. Next one, again, it doesn't look very good. So we move our highs up. And what we're looking for, guys, is we're looking for a counter trend move, okay? Or we're looking for an impulsive move. But at the moment, you can see these candles are not very impulsive, okay? It's taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, which is probably the same length as that one there, okay? So then we move on, and you can see now we've had this counter trend move, okay? Because it's not taking out this most recent high here. So as we move on, you can see we're having this counter trend move. And as you can see, price has now come down. Okay, now we've broken this most recent low, but what's happened, it's given us a wick, telling us that price is still not ready to go down. Okay, what's the next candle going to say? The next candle has done the same thing, dropped down, giving us a large wick. Okay, so these are now the lows. And all we're focusing on is price action. And what is price action telling us? Again, it's giving us a break of that low and pulled straight back up. Okay, we're not interested in this sort of price action because it's not giving us any real momentum to the downside. Okay, and as you can see now, we have this counter trend move. Okay, we'll have a look. And as you can see, price is now pulling back up. And again, we've just taken out this most recent high. But how are we taking it out? Well, straight away, we've seen this candle take out the high and pull back, okay? So this is giving us an indication that price action is going to go down, okay? Because it hasn't broken this high impulsively. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we look at how the highs and the lows are being broken. So I wouldn't be surprised whether we get a retrace candle here. As you can see, price straight away has retraced, showing us that the market is corrective, and this is a sort of period where we do not want to trade. Okay, so we keep going down. Again, this has just broken the low, but has it broken it with any force? Not really. We've just sort of pulled back. The next candle, as you can see, is blue. So we've broken this low and we've retraced. Again, corrective nature. Okay, so we'll keep playing this and see. Okay, so now we have broken this low here. Okay, this was the most recent low. So we've come up, we've made this high, made a little high, and then we broke the low and straight away given you a wick. Okay, now if we move this down to here, because that would be the most recent one. As you go backwards, that would have been the high that was the most recent. Okay, now what have I told you about wicks, guys? I've told you if you get a long wick like this, likeliness is that price will just range inside here. Okay, but what is happening is now price has come up, made this high, broke the low. What happens next? If we get a retracement candle, that is showing us again that price is descending and more likely to go up than it is down. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we've got now this retrace candle. As you can see, it's blue, it's come back up. So it's showing us now that the market is descending. Okay, more likely to go up than it is down. But just because it's more likely to go up than down doesn't mean that it's going to be impulsive. We could still get just a break of the high and a retrace, break of the high and a retrace. And this is what we need to focus on. Okay, so as you see here, guys, let's have a look what happens next. Again, we got this large wick, price action ranged inside it. Now what has happened now, guys? Price has dropped and it's retraced straight away. Again, showing us that price action at this moment is not willing to continue going down. Every time we're breaking lows, it wants to pull back up. Okay, so this is the new high. We've got this as the new low. And we want to see what happens next. Is price going to continue down, or are we going to get a pullback up? And as you see, it's pulled back up. So again, showing us that we're still within this price action that is descending and that we want to go upwards. Okay. Next one. We broke this most recent high now. What's going to happen? Are we going to get impulsive or are we going to become corrective? And again, straight away pulled back, showing us that price is not ready to go up yet. Okay, so as you can see here, this would have been the current high. Now, as we've come up here, we've made this little low and it's broken upwards. Okay, so I would have moved this up. And all we're doing, guys, is quite simply just following price action and letting price action show us whether it's impulsive or corrective. Okay, so as you can see, again, broken the lows, pulled back. We don't want to get involved in that market because if it becomes, again, look, it's just showing us that price action is coming down, breaking the lows and pulling back. We don't want to get involved. Okay, so let's continue with this. And as you can see, again, broken the highs, pulled back. Will we see a red candle or will we see momentum continue upwards? Again, we saw a counter trend bar, okay, showing us that momentum isn't continuing upwards just yet. And then you've seen this price action here, okay. This is the most recent high now because as you can see, we've broken, go backwards. This is the most recent low because it's a counter trend move, okay. And as you can see now, we're looking to see if we can get this impulsive move up. Okay, we saw this descending channel telling us that price action wants to go up, but we need to see some sort of impulsive move. Okay, and as you can see, straight after we break this high, we retrace right again. Okay, showing us that it's actually pretty corrective. Okay, so this would be the new high here, showing us that we don't really want to get involved in this market because it's gone up and it's broke straight back down, showing us that price action has no momentum to the upside. Now again, price has broken the high, retraced once again, showing us again that price action is not ready to go up. Okay, now this one, as you can see, has broken this high, so it's continued with that uptrend. Okay, so I leave my lows here. Okay, so as you can see now, we keep playing. What's going to happen? Again, we've just slightly broke that high. Okay, we'll put that there. Just slightly broke it. What's going to happen next? Are we going to get continuation up as an impulse, or are we going to just get a nice retracement again? And as you can see, it's broke the high and retraced. Okay, and this is what price action we have to look out for. Okay, we want to know that price action is taking out the highs, retracing, taking out the highs, retracing. Okay, what is that showing us? It's showing us we are ascending. Okay, breaking out these highs, we were retracing. Okay, breaking out these highs, retracing, breaking out these highs, retracing. Okay, showing us that price action is ascending and more likely to go down than it is up. So then all we do, guys, is just continue and looking at how the highs and the lows are breaking. So now that we've taken out this most recent high here, we want to move this one up, okay, because this is the most recent low. And then we want to see how the highs and lows are breaking. We do realize that obviously this is an ascending channel and that price is likely to drop. Okay, so let's see how we are breaking these highs and lows. Okay, so we see this large wick here. Price is likely to range within that. And all we're focusing on now is, are we breaking the highs or the lows impulsively? As you can see here now, we've dropped past this low. Okay, now are we going to get a retrace candle, or are we going to continue down with some momentum? And straight away again, it's pulled back, showing us that the market is corrective. Okay, we want to go back up, find the most recent high, which is here, and then we want to continue to see whether we're going to get a descending channel or whether we're going to get some momentum. Okay, we look at price action to see what happens next. Okay, so you can see we've now got some momentum. Now we want to see if we can continue with this momentum or whether we will get a retrace candle, because if we get a retrace candle, that's showing us that price is descending. Okay, now you can see we've had this momentum continue down, which is a good sign. But again, what is a telltale sign is this large wick. And when we get large wicks, price action normally ranges within that. And we don't want to get involved because we just get tagged in and tagged out. Okay, with my personal experience, I don't like taking price action with large wicks. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, so you can see now price is ranging within that area, which we expected because we had a large wick. Okay, so we need to keep focused on what's happening next. Okay, so now we're getting close to this low here. Are we going to break this low impulsively, or are we going to break it correctively? Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so now we've broken this low. Okay, and what I like to do, guys, another thing that probably I do subconsciously, but also when we're inside this range here, in between the high and the low. Okay, now as price has broken this low here, we want to also look at what's happened within this range, because I can clearly see subconsciously that this is a descending channel. Okay, we broke these lows, we pulled back, broke these lows, likely to pull back. Okay, now I can see that, but obviously when I'm teaching you guys, when you have a range that breaks out of a low, like for example here, we want to also look at what the price action looks like within that range. And you can clearly state that this is a descending. So what I wouldn't be surprised with, and what I would actually expect, is to see a retrace here, okay? And then maybe come down and retrace, come down and retrace, okay? Showing us a descending channel, and it's more likely to go up, okay? Wouldn't be surprised at all, because of this price action prior is telling me that we're breaking lows, pulling back. Even though it's not, even though it's within our highs and lows, we still want to look at price action within that range. Okay, so let's see. And there it is, a pullback. Okay, so we've come down here. And now that we've broken this low, excuse me, I should have moved this before. Obviously, this would have been the most recent high here. Okay, and as you can see, we've just about touched it and give you a double top area. Okay, so you can see now that this descending nature. okay? We're more likely to go up than down. Okay, so now that we broke this low, we need to move our lows down to here, okay? And see now what happens next. Are we going to take out this high and retrace, okay? Or are we going to get some sort of impulse? Okay, so now we've taken out this most recent high. What's going to happen next? Are we going to get an impulsive move or a corrective move? Again, price is showing us that it has no momentum, showing us a large wick and that we're likely to go down than we are up, okay? Or we might get an impulsive break. And again, price broke the high, retraced, okay? And it's just showing us, guys, that the momentum, there's no momentum in this market. There's no impulses. You can clearly state there's no impulses, okay? And again, break the high, retrace. This is just showing us that price action is range bound and corrective, and we want to stay out of this sort of market. Okay, now we've broken this high, looks pretty impulsive, but what's going to happen next after this? Okay, this is the most recent low. Again, we've broken the high. What's going to happen next? Is it going to continue to impulse, or will we get a retracement candle? Because if we get a retracement candle, then it's showing us that momentum can't contain the upwards move. And you can see now that we're getting this move up, okay? And as you can see now, price is continuously pulling back, okay? And we want to look for, see whether we can get a move, because it's quite impulsive. We broke the most recent high pretty impulsively. So then we want to see whether we can get in on our counter trend move, okay? And also be aware that if we take out the higher retrace, again, we don't want to get involved in that market, okay? And as you can see now, price has come down, broke this low, okay? Now, if this was a bunker bomb, of course, we would want to get involved. That's the most recent low. We broke it and we've retraced. So I would get in here, okay? So that would get in long. And then what we look for, okay, we would have been in here. As it's come up, it's retraced, okay? Showing us that price action, again, is becoming corrective and that it might not want to continue upwards, okay? So then we look for our most recent lows. And we want to see now, is price action going to impulse up or is it going to become corrective? And as you can see, price action is still corrective. So if we were in this move here, of course, we would have moved our stops. And as we're breaking these highs correctively, we just want to be aware of the market that we do not want to scale in. If we are risk-free, we just want to continue up, okay? As you can see, again, price is breaking the highs and we're retracing, okay? And then we've got this counter trend move. And then again, price has just broke out of this high here, and then we look backwards. Where's the most recent low? Broke out the high, okay? So we would have it either here or here, depending on how you're looking at it. That's the furthest low as we broke up, but you could also look at this one. But I think it's this one here, excuse me, that one here, because as you can see, it's a counter trend move, okay? And then we've gone up. Okay, so it could be that one or it could be one of these. Okay, again, it doesn't really matter too much because you're only managing it. And all we're looking for here, guys, is to show you how we see a corrective market. Now, this high here has broken that high and retraced. Okay, so we don't want to get involved in any sort of scaling if we are in this position. Okay, so that's how the descending and ascending channel works and how we're looking at them, guys.